Hey everybody, this is Zach Hill, and today I'm here with Jared Shaner, who's an athletic director, and he's going to give us a little bit behind the scenes, what it's like to be athletic director, share his story with us, and give some advice. So welcome to Career Questions, and appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Zach. I'm excited about it.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, a little history, if you will?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll go back a ways. Originally from Prophetstown, Illinois. Grew up there and was involved in athletics growing up, and I know we'll talk about it a little bit later on as well, but that probably got me the start in my career. And I went on to Illinois State University, got a bachelor's degree in education, and I was actually a special education teacher for the first 10 or 11 years of my career. Was into athletics, as I said before, and was coaching, coached multiple sports throughout the years, from football. I was a head coach at several different schools. Coached some basketball, baseball, some track and field, and then got my master's degree and went into administration, where I am now, currently employed by Dixon Public Schools in Dixon, Illinois.
So I didn't realize that you were in special ed. Can you give us a little bit of background on that? Tell us about that, and who anybody would maybe be interested in.
Sure. Very challenging field, but definitely a rewarding one, and one that is much needed. There's a shortage of special education teachers in the state of Illinois as well as nationwide. As I said early on, probably my sophomore, junior year in high school, I became interested in the education field. I didn't make a complete decision at that time, but was involved in athletics and had some coaches that had a big influence on me, as well as some classroom teachers, and I felt like maybe special education would be a route that I could go and have some success and enjoy what I did, and I certainly did. As I told you, for 10 or 11 years, I was in a special education classroom teaching, and really a wide variety. I taught some self-contained classes, you name the subject, and at one point I probably taught it. I taught some BD, ED classes, some behavioral disorder, emotional disorder classroom setting for a couple years. I co-taught classes, so that would be a regular education setting where there's a special education teacher in the room as well. And as I said, it was really, really rewarding, but also very challenging. Probably 8 or 9 years into my career, the paperwork became more and more intense. There became some, not only some state regulations and some federal regulations that kind of began to grow and increase. And I was also a head football coach at a couple different schools during that time period, and the time constraints got pretty tough. I realized that probably wasn't going to be a field that I was going to stay in for 30 or 35 years. So I chose to put my master's degree to work. I had some courses in physical education and coaching. I spent some time as a PE teacher in the classroom, and then moved on into administration.
What ultimately, aside from everything changing with all the paperwork and everything like that, like what was your drive for going athletic director?
Yeah. I go back to the fact that I've told you a couple times, athletics has always been a part of my life. I grew up in a small town, and, for the most part, all the boys played 3 sports and the girls did 3 sports. And I felt like if I could find a career in that field, I would be happy and hopefully content. And to be honest, like a lot of young kids at 16, 17, 18 years old, when the adults in your life are telling you got to figure out what you want to do for the next 30 or 40 years, that's a little daunting. I can remember having some conversations with, obviously, my family. I talked with my high school football coach at the time. I have a science teacher who taught in Prophetstown and was coaching some girls' athletics there that I really respected. Had some conversations with him, and also with our pastor at church, and decided that athletics, whether it be athletic director, the role I'm currently in, or something in athletics. Obviously, I spent a long time coaching as well, but that would be something that I could get fulfillment out of, joy out of. And the big thing is, with any career, this, Zach, if you dread going to work every day, it's not going to be very fun, and you're going to count those days and the months and the years. So, the field of athletics was certainly something that I knew that I would enjoy, hopefully, for my life. And that's kind of what's led me to my role as athletic director.